Eala earns Abu Dhabi Open main draw wildcard. Manila, Philippines. Eala has been listed as a wild card in the main draw of the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open from February 1st to 7th. Initially listed as a qualifier, Eala will no longer face a scheduling conflict between the Philippine Women's Open and the Women's Tennis Association (WTA) 500 event in Abu Dhabi after tournament organizers confirmed her main draw entry. She's in. Eala becomes the first wild card into the main draw. Keep your eyes on the main draw, wrote the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open on its social media pages. Eala is set to compete first in the Philippine Women's Open, the country's inaugural WTA 125 tournament, from January 26 to 31st. Following her Australian Open main draw debut, the 20-year-old Filipino netter arrived in Manila and began training Friday at the newly refurbished Rizal Memorial Tennis Center. The Abu Dhabi Open field also includes former champions Belinda Bencic and Elena Rybakina, along with Clara Tauson, Barbora Krejcikova, Yelena Ostapenko, Leylah Fernandez, Victoria Mboko, and Qin Wenjing. The wild card and the flight. Eala's moment under the desert sun. In the world of professional tennis, every ranking point tells a story of workouts before dawn, long flights across continents, and the quiet, simmering belief that rises to meet opportunity. For Eala, that story has been nothing short of a cinematic arc. A young Filipina climbing steadily through the world's toughest tour, reshaping the expectations of tennis fans not just in her homeland, but across Asia and the globe. And now, as the calendar turns yet again toward another chapter in her career, a new opportunity awaits, a wild card into the main draw of the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open, set to take place from February 1st to 7th, 2026. This isn't just another entry on a tournament list, it's a recognition of her rising star, an invitation to compete with the elite, and a chance to test her mettle once more on the WTA 500 stage. A wild card, more than just entry. In tennis, there are few prizes more symbolic than a wild card. It's a nod of confidence from tournament organizers, an acknowledgement that a player has something compelling to offer the sport. For Alex, who has battled through professional ranks with grit and flair, the Abu Dhabi wild card isn't merely a pass. It's a statement. You belong here. Imagine a young girl hitting balls against the walls of her local courts in the Philippines, dreaming of clay, grass, and hard courts far beyond the tropics. Now imagine that same girl stepping into the floodlit courts of some of the world's most prestigious arenas, from the winding streets of the Miami Open to the manicured lawns of Eastbourne, and now to the dazzling lights of Abu Dhabi. That journey, often forged in silence and sweat, has carried with it the hopes of an entire nation. A journey that refuses to be small. Eala's rise hasn't been smooth, but it's been spectacular in its peaks and promise. Her breakthrough at major tournaments, including stunning victories over high-ranking opponents, has forced the tennis world to take notice. She has blazed paths seldom traveled by players from her region, a testament to talent meeting tenacity. Even when her run at the first Grand Slam of the year, the Australian Open, ended in a tough loss, she didn't retreat. Instead, she looked forward, eyes set on what comes next, embodying the resolve of a competitor who knows that greatness has no single finish line. That spirit resonates not just in her results, but in the inspiration she sparks. Young players watching her matches, aspiring athletes believing they too can shatter ceilings once deemed out of reach. A wild card into Abu Dhabi isn't just a second chance. It's a platform for more dreams to take shape and more voices to be heard. Abu Dhabi, where deserts meet dreams. The 2026 Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open is a WTA 500 event, one of the more significant stops on the women's tour, drawing stars from around the world to compete for prestige, ranking points, and glory. Players like Belinda Bencic, a former champion, will be there to defend their turf, adding to the tournament's electric competitive energy. For Alex, walking onto those courts isn't merely about competition, it's a moment of affirmation. She will step onto the arena not as an underdog nobody sees, but as a rising star everyone watches. The wild card places her directly into the main draw, promising not just exposure, but the possibility of narrative-shifting victories. Think of the symbolism, the desert sun blazing over Zayed Sports City, the roar of the crowd echoing under floodlights, and Alex, focused, poised, resilient, ready to carve her story into this global canvas. More than stats, a cultural phenomenon. But beyond rankings and results, Eala's journey is cultural. She carries with her the dreams of fans who may never travel to every tournament but will be watching every match. Her presence on the world stage mirrors the rise of athletes from regions traditionally outside the sport's elite echelons, challenging stereotypes and expanding the horizon of what's possible. In the Philippines, the buzz around her tournaments is electric. Fans are already buzzing with anticipation over her participation, eager to see whom she will face and when she will play. Their excitement isn't just about sport. It's about pride, identity, and collective hope. The wild card is metaphor. A wild card isn't just an entry ticket. It's a metaphor for Alex's journey. It speaks to life's unpredictability and the bursts of opportunity that reward persistence. She didn't simply follow the expected path. She created her own, one match at a time. And now, as she prepares to compete among seasoned pros in Abu Dhabi, she steps forward with the confidence of someone who has already proven she belongs, not just in the draw, but in the hearts of those who follow her story. Final rally, what comes next? When the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open begins, all eyes will be on the courts, but many hearts will be with a young woman whose dream has become a shared journey. Whether she goes on to thrill with an upset or fall in a hard-fought battle, her presence there has already inspired a generation of fans, and perhaps future players, to dream without limits. In a sport built on momentum, the wild card is her next serve, a chance to set the tone, write new lines into her narrative, and continue a career that has already redefined expectations. The desert awaits, the crowds will gather, and Eala, wildcard and warrior, will take her place under the sun.